So let's just settle into a nice, comfortable, seated posture. And let me check the sound. Is it okay? Good. Good.
Yes, Venom.
Cool. And I'm sure everyone's doing fine. You all look really well. Cold, maybe. Okay. Yeah, they say it's going to snow in Marin. I'm not sure. It doesn't really. I mean, maybe Mount Tam. Anyway. Okay, so let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. And you can start this evening by rejoicing in your efforts in turning up. And just coming here, being present. That's the main event for this evening. Anything else that happens after that is a bonus. So the main person you're showing up for tonight is yourself. So try and remain present as much as possible throughout the practice. So we'll start with settling the body, feet about a hip's width apart. Shoulders are aligned with the hips. Be sitting right on top of your sits bones. And as much as you can, your ears aligned with your shoulders. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And just lengthen the spine. Imagine you're putting some space in between those vertebrae. And then notice the crown of the head. What's it doing this evening? And just try and feel some sensation there. And just release and relax. Crown of the head, relax the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the face, the jaw, the back of the tongue, the ears, the back of the head, the back of the neck. Allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat, the chest, and the belly, and all of your limbs. And then just allow some softness to come into your body, some relaxation. Notice the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. And be aware of any sounds in your environment. Just allow those sounds to be there, trying not to follow with the mind. Then notice what's arising in the mind, just trying not to judge or criticize. And then bring to mind all the people of your life, the ones, your loved ones. And then those you don't like so much and the strangers, and just remember they can all change place at any time. This friend, this enemy, this stranger. And remembering they're all equal in their wish to be happy, their wish to be free from suffering, and having this extraordinary capacity for Buddhahood. So I think there is, we'll do this meditation this evening for the benefit of all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So I think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this is a really important point to remind ourselves over and over again, because we have this thing in the West where we're just like, oh, I'm such a bad person. Well, we have habits and we do stuff. Doesn't make us inherently bad. And we can purify all these things that harm ourselves and others. So we start with the power of regret. And again, I reiterate, this regret is not guilt. So try not to feel bad when you're dealing with this idea of regret. We're just really remembering perhaps some of the things we've done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And it could be something that you did as a child. Maybe you thought it was okay to squash snails just because, didn't know any better or any differently, or no one taught you otherwise. But then you just kind of feel sorry that you did that. Doesn't make you bad, it just makes you sorry you took the life of that snail or that ant or that mosquito or that flea. And the reason for regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others. We ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future, and we cannot bear the thought of the future suffering that we ourselves will experience. And we know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing the Buddha to forgive us, we're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. So here we have this Vajrasattva. So he's made of a beautiful, this kind of light. He's a light being. So the two hands crossed at the heart symbolize enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we've harmed, and those who have harmed us by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because they're going to suffer as a result of the harm they've done to you. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, and this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa anarakta me boa sawasiti me piyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajrama me mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajrama me mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajrama me mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa anarakta me boa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajrama me mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa anarakta me boa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajrama me mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anurakta me boa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajrama me mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anurakta me boa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajrama me mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hompe. Then be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of your speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa anarakta me boa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajrama me mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anurakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And the next is the purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's the same as when you walk into a pitch black room, you flick on that switch, and the light that comes instantly dispels the darkness. So same here, the moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment and neediness and bitterness and depression, anxiety, jealousy, resentment, grudges, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sitokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. And now be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think now there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. You can imagine the Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe, Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita, Dida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve. And this is the fourth and final step in the purification process, and a really crucial one. And this is the determination to not harm with your body, your speech, and your mind. So it's not going to happen all at once. You know, we are going to need to work on this because we're human and we have habits. But what we do is we start with this aspiration, with a determination. So nothing happens without making a decision to do it. And this determination, this aspiration to not harm, is like a beacon that guides our body, our speech, and our mind in new directions. So everything exists on the tip of the wish, the aspiration, according to Rinpoche. We would say the tip of the wishes. So start with something simple, you know, like, well, first of all, rejoice in your efforts. And then start with something simple that, maybe you squashed an ant when you were 5 years old. Regret that. And then think, well, as I'm walking down the path, as I'm going to my car, I'll keep an eye out for ants. And I'm going to try and refrain from squashing them as I'm walking over them. Just keep it really simple, like make it part of your daily routine. And then this determination to kind of try and avoid harming sentient beings, it kind of gives us strength to change. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness, In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level your mind understands emptiness, place it there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. We can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And then I have a strong wish for His Holiness Dalai Lama to live long and to be able to continue to teach and to work as he is. And then for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche's unmistaken reincarnation, and then for your own precious teachers to live long. Okay, everybody, lots of love. So nice to see you all. Thank you for hosting. And I will see you tomorrow, Thursday. Okay.